have a bit of money or you have stability, well, why would I take that risk? For what? Why would I get in the ring and risk my life or my health for someone? I can always make money, don't matter. It's easy, once you've got money, it's easy to make money. Doesn't really matter. But you can never get back time and you can never get back your health.
What was going through your mind? Because mentally it might have been, I'm guessing it might have been tough, because this is your bread and butter. This is something that you do every single day.
It was very hard, and but listen, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I understand. It doesn't matter how the system gets into your body. There's no excuse. If it's in it, it's in it. It doesn't. Sometimes that's how it just goes, and you just gotta get on with that.
All right, we are with Abdul Bari Kid Galahad Awad,
Yes.
or aka Bare. Which one do you prefer?
Anything, whatever people want to call me, I let them call me. You know, it don't matter. Barry, Kid, Galahad, Awad, Abdul Bari, anything.
You are a British professional boxer. You held the IBF world title, IBF featherweight world title in 2021. Multiple regional championships at super bantamweight, the British Commonwealth, the European titles between 2013 and 2014, and you also challenged for the IBO lightweight title in 2022. Your ring name, Kid Galahad, as you said, was chosen by your trainer Brendan Ingle, by the character played by Elvis Presley in the 1962 film, had the same name. So Barry, where did it all start?
The late great Brendan gave me the name Kid Galahad. Obviously I've been fighting for a long time, and before I turned professional, my name is Abdul Bari Awad, and in the early 2000s it wasn't, what's the word for it? To have a name like Abdul Bari Awad, it wasn't a selling name. So he goes, what we're going to do, we're going to call you Kid Galahad, who's a famous boxing film, if you ever watched it. We sat down and watched it, he goes, this is what your ring name is going to be, and the rest is history.
We know the Ingle Gym is obviously where it first all started. Yeah. What brought you into boxing? What was the main thing of that?
The main thing was how it all started. At 11 years old, I was a skinny kid, and always in and out of trouble, fighting, causing havoc all over. And me and my friend Tristan went to a gym in town, in not far from Broom Hall. It was like a little boxing gym. Went there, training. There was a ring inside there, and this guy goes to me, "Oh, you're not bad. Do you want to like start doing a bit?" And I just trained there for about 2 weeks. There was like little weights. Then just did it for about 2 weeks, and then one day I went to the mosque, and as I went to the mosque, I seen Prince Nassim Hamed. And I said to Naz, I'm doing a bit of boxing. I want to be like you. What should I do? He goes to me, go to Winkbank and look for a guy called Brendan Ingle. He says, if you want it to be a world champion, he'll make you into a world champion. So I ran home. I said, Mum, I need to go and find this gym, Brendan Ingle's gym. She got in the car, went looking for it. Eventually found it, walked in, seen Brendan. I says, Brendan, I says to me, if I want to be a world champion, this is what I've got to be. And he come in, made me go up and down the lines. And then that was it. That's how I got into it.
So, when did you realise, okay, I'm actually kind of good at this? And when did Brendan realise, okay, he is the promised kid, he is Kid Galahad?
You know what it was? It actually wasn't. I didn't ever think, oh my God, I'm good at this. Because I didn't have nothing and I come from nothing, I said to myself, when I walked to that gym and I looked at everyone, there was Johnny Nelson, Junior Witter, Kell Brook, Buster Keaton, everybody was in the gym and they were all massive. And when I walked in, I thought, this is what I want to do. But I actually wasn't the best. There was you remember, at 11 years old, 12 years, that was old age to start boxing. All the other kids come in at 7, 6, 5, 8, you know what I mean? So when I started, a lot of the kids were already ahead of me. And then when I went to the gym and I was just kept on like training every day, I was getting beat by all the good kids. But the only thing I think what separated me from them was, Brendan used to go, oh, just come in. So then I went in before school and after school every day, because I knew all them good kids only used to come in every other day or once a day. So I thought if I could do 2 sessions a day before gym, before school and after school, I'd catch up to them. And eventually, after a year or two, I did.
So you said at the gym when you first started, you were the young ones. You were the younger one.
Yeah.
Who do you remember in the gym as someone that you were looking up to at that point? What boxers do you remember? Because and there's someone that you thought, okay, wow, he looks amazing. I wish, other than obviously Nas.
There was loads. That's what I'm saying. In that gym at that time, there was loads. There were Junior Witter, Ishan Pickering, Johnny Nelson, Buster Keaton, Danny McIntosh. The list goes on and on. Honestly, I'm telling you now. And there was other people come from other gyms. Who Dominic and John trained. Ryan Rhodes was from that gym. When I was in the gym, Billy, there was that many kids who were in the gym when I was a kid. Not Billy Job, but there was a lot of kids who were in that gym who were all better than me. And like Kel was probably one of the best. There was another kid called Craig Bromley who was even better than Kel. But there was what's the other night? There was Darren Sutherland. You don't even know who Darren Sutherland. He was an unbelievable amateur fighter from Ireland. He turned pro. The list goes on and on. And I was really in the bottom. I was not even. It wasn't even like I had the ability. I had to work my way there.
Who is someone obviously like that people don't really know about? Like you said, that Darren Sutherland did you say?
Yeah, when we put this up, everybody who knows Darren Sutherland beat James DeGale. James DeGale beat him in the Olympic final, and he ended up getting the bronze. Darren Sutherland, and James DeGale got the gold. But Darren Sutherland boxed everybody. If in the boxing world, everybody knows who he was. You might not know who he is, but there was loads of other kids: Ali Nasser, Muhammad Al Sururi, Ali Martin, Musin Nasser, Hussein Nasser. These guys were unreal, and there was loads of them. They were like, honestly, like where the level they compared to me. If you had to come into the gym, you said who would have been world champion, you would have said any of them, not me, 100%.
Okay, so what you're basically saying to us right now is hard work beats talent.
Yeah, to a certain degree, and it's not just that. It's actually listening and staying on point, because you got to remember in life there's a lot of distractions, a lot of things happen, and as just the cycle of life, some fell off because they had no money. They think, oh, I need to start working. Some had to support the mum and dad. Some had to support the family. Some got girlfriends. Some got kids, and all these obstacles, and then them just falling off one by one.
So at that point, when you saw all these guys that were better than you, what was going through your mind, and how did you think, okay, cool? What was driving you?
I had nothing. It's different when you remember I moved out at 15 years old. And I lived down the post office near the gym from 15 till I was 20, until I really made some money to get something. So them years I lived just in a little, like this room here. I had a mattress on the floor, nothing else. No heating, no nothing. Do you know what I mean? In the winter, there was 4 or 5 of us in the house. So there's me, me, Adnan, Lee Duncan, and Lee Noble and John Bagley in this house, and they'd go home on the weekends and I used to stay there, and then they'd only put enough electricity or heating just to last till Friday like afternoon, and then they'd go home. Then I wouldn't put no money in because I had no money until they come back on the Monday. Do you know what I mean? But it was probably the best time of your life. But you win there, you're thinking, oh, it's bad, but it's probably the best time of your life, that. And even like, look, I just said to you, Musin Nasser, unbelievable. Hussein Nasser, unbelievable. Ali Nasser, them 3 brothers were unbelievable. Ali Martin was very good. Adnan Amar, unbelievable. All these guys were all better than me. The only difference was I was just more consistent. That was it.
So, when there was 5 men in the house, when you were younger,
Yeah.
I need some stories on that, man. Give me.
I was 15 and I was hanging around with these professionals, and they were all boxing all over the place, and honestly it was terrible. I remember one day going down to the kitchen and I just seen a rap and I thought, oh my god, do you know what I mean? Even like things like, we were like toilet paper, it was like a battle because no one wanted to pay for it. It was crazy times, but none of us had nothing. We were all just trying to find a way in life.
Give me a story, man. I know you definitely have a story that's something that happened over there. That you come on. These men are all retired now by now. You get it?
I was just saying, there was a guy who used to live with us, and what he used to do, he used to train in the morning, and he used to sweat, get his clothes off, get in the shower, shake the sweat off, put them on the radiator to dry, go back in the afternoon, and train again in the same clothes every day. And then go on the weekend, just wash it once to save money. And I used to just think, oh my God, I used to stink. And Dom and John used to kick off saying, yo, listen, take your t-shirt off. But it was different in them days. It was different.
As well as back then. So we know that you were born in Qatar, right?
Yeah.
Would you say you were raised in Qatar?
Dad and Mum lived in Qatar, and I think it might have been 1991 or something. I think the Qataris sent back the army. They said, we don't need the army no more, that's it, we're going to send everyone home. So my dad left. He was there for I think he was there for 12 years. He was devastated when they sent him home. Come to England, had no money, looked for a shop in Liverpool, bought the shop, and then sent. I had to live out there because he brought all the other kids. There was 7 of us, so they all went with my dad and Mum. I stayed with my nan and granddad, and once they got the house, got everything set, they sent me, and then I come over to Liverpool.
I read online that they wanted you to represent the country Qatar after they saw your boxing talents. Can you tell us how they approached you and what went through that whole process?
They wanted me to fight in the amateur, but this was when I was at the time I was saying from amateur to professional. I think they wanted me to fight in the Olympics, but at the time it didn't really. Well, I wanted to turn professional. I didn't want to. If they offered me now and said, oh, if you come over, we'll fund you and pay you to fight for this, and if the figures were right, I'd go back and do it now. 33, 34, I think I'd beat most amateurs 100%. But at the time, I wanted to be a world champion. I wanted to do all these other things.
We fast forward into your career. When you were, obviously you went in your amateur career, you did very well up to that point. So I want to know what went through your mind at your first professional fight.
Oh, my first professional fight. Remember, I was about 8 stone 6, and the fight was made at 8 stone. I was skin and bone. It was that was a big. I remember, and went in there, beat the guy. Delroy Spence, his name was, and he was a good amateur. This guy, but he was a journeyman. But he was tough. He was all right. I think this fight might have been made at 8 stone, and I was only skin and bone. And then I moved up straight away after that. Didn't make 8 stone again, but that was a good day. Professional debut.
What was going through your head at that point?
Getting there and win, because it's weird because people won't say, oh, I remember this. You don't. In a fight, all you think about is going there and you're fighting for your life and you want to win. That's what it's like. It's a boxing fight is a bit like a street fight where you've got to win. It's just, I don't know. Everyone treats it different. I try it. For me, a fight was like life and death. It wasn't. Afterwards, that was alright, but it wasn't going there and dancing, and it wasn't for me. For me, it was always like life and death. That's how I treated it.
Your first professional fight, what was it? Did your parents and your brothers and you used to come to your fights?
Yeah, my mum always come to my amateur fights, but as an amateur, Dom come to me when I got to the finals or boxed with the NABCs or the ABAs. Dom, when it was in the finals and I won them, that's where Dom come with me. Mum used to come when she could, but it was different. It's different because as a pro, that's when your friends start coming, because you have to sell tickets, or try and sell tickets. So they can, in these amateur bouts, you're not really going to say, to your friends, come on, let's go to a ABA final down London. They haven't got no money, are they going to get there? Yeah, it's different. And my mum we didn't have no money at that point, so she'd come if it was close by, but when it was London and that, no, she couldn't because it was too far.
Since you said you left the house at 15 years old, what was your relationship with your family like? Because for you to leave in your teens and come back when you were 20, and even though you were still in the same city, which is good, but what was the relationship like there?
We were good. My mum always, if I need anything, she'd always be there, whatever it was. But you remember, I was in an area called before, so Brendan goes to me, listen, if you want to make it in this, you've got to move out of that area and come and live near the gym. And that was the best decision I ever did, because there was no distractions. It doesn't matter when your friends are playing outside or it's kicking off or this is happening, you're never there. So when all these bad things happen in Upthorpe, for some reason I was never there. Why was that? Because I lived away. So I never had no excuse not to train. So when I lived there in Christmas, on the holidays, I was in the gym because I lived next door. I lived down the road from the gym. So it goes, so you've never got no excuse never to train. And that was I think that was the biggest thing, the biggest sacrifice I made. But that's what made a difference, was that.
Did you have any, since you set up a foot, did you have any moments in your life where something happened, you were in altercations? Do you remember one altercation in general which you thought, this is not where I need to be here?
Yeah, there's always things like that, but I don't know, sometimes you just you look at certain things and things happen and you just kind of have to take a step back. But no, I never was in a situation where I thought, you know, like I said, because I moved out of that area, I was never really. It's different when you live there. You just seem to miss everything. You're waking up in it. So when I wasn't waking up in it, the only time I went there was after training for an hour. Then I'd go back home, go see mum, then go back home. So you was never really in an hour's time, less things can happen. But if I lived there was always things happening there all the time, and for some reason you just kind of missed them all the time, because I was in Winkerbank, which is like a 15-20 minute drive from there.
Like what? What was happening over there?
There was always people, fights, stabbing, shootings, drama. Look, everybody knows how it is when you're up from a council estate area. There's always drama. There's no council estate different to no other one. They're all the same. It's all the same drama, same trouble, things happening, people doing what they're doing. It's just how it is, isn't it?
So speaking about area and family, what we're thinking right now is there was a doping issue in 2015. Yeah. I know you've already spoken about it, where they did ban you for 2 years. 18 months, sorry. Change that for my bad, sorry about that. What was going through your mind? Because mentally it might have been, I'm guessing it might have been tough, because this is your bread and butter. This is something that you do every single day.
It was very hard. And but listen, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I understand. It doesn't matter how the system gets into your body. It's no excuse if it's in it. It doesn't. Sometimes that's how it just goes, and you just gotta get on with it, aren't you? It doesn't matter. Sometimes in life, you get dealt certain cards, and you have to just get on with it. You know what I mean? You can't sit there and go, oh, you know, this, or don't. Get on with it. Save whatever you had to save, and get on with it, and pick up where you left off, and work from that point on. You know what I mean? And that's it's just everyone's different. Some people, you know, like, yeah, right, you had good days and you had bad days. People, oh, you know, but everybody has good days and bad days. That's just how it is. It's life, innit? Life's like a roller coaster.
Would you say, so at that point, I know that those certain issues you did say it was your brother and everything along them lines. Is it still, when you went with that appeal, I know they said no to turn down your appeal, but
what they said it was true. It doesn't matter. They're saying, well, we don't care. It doesn't matter how it got in there, what it is. It shouldn't have been in there. So, which the way they say it is, it's like you can't really say anything. It's just how it goes, isn't it? That's how it is. It shouldn't have been in your system. We don't care, and that's it. And you have to take it on the chin and get on with it. It don't matter, which is right in a way. Do you know what I mean? And because no matter what you do, if I'm in this boxing show now and I have a sandwich and it's got something in it, and I failed, they say, well, you should have been careful, you shouldn't have had that sandwich. Which in a way is true. As an athlete, you kind of have to, that's what you've got to do. You've got to be curious. So after that, I wouldn't really eat nowhere. You had to be careful where you're at, what you touch, which in a way, that's just how it is. You know, and there's been situations where some fighters have failed on stuff and you're like, well, there's no, how's that happened? Do you mean like Liam Cameron got banned and he got 4 years for cocaine, I think he got, and like, should he have got that time? No, he shouldn't have. He could have touched anything and he would have failed the test. So if he touched notes and then went like on his face and they tested him, he would have failed on it. So it's like one of them things. So it's like kind of like you just got to be on it, and that's what it all comes down to. You've got to be professional and be careful where you put your hand. Like we had a guy called Carl Lucock in the change rooms, in the gym. That's what we had him as. He had to make sure everything was. No one brought no drinks in. No one brought in the change rooms. No one could come in and just have a, put a sandwich there or whatever it is, or have bottles. We brought our own bottles. We brought our own food to make sure 100%. And that's what you've got to do sometimes.
Do you ever remember how the boxing community treated you once all that came out?
Yeah, but that's how it is. Look, boxing's boxing, and look, when you're doing good, no matter what it is in life, you could be a plumber, and you're all of a sudden you've got a big franchise and you're doing well. You're gonna get hangers on. So for me, look, from a young age, I always knew I never had no hangers on. So the same people I'm friends with now is the same people I was friends with then. I never had a entourage or people I went out with and this guy and that guy. I never had that because I always knew, because you got to remember I was in the gym a long time, so I seen other people who fell for that trap, who these are your friends and this and that, and now they're not doing nothing, they're not the friends no more. I never had people like that. I never had hangers on ever, because I already seen it. I was in the gym from 11 years old. I've seen it all this before. Brendan told me for years and years, listen, don't have no hangers on, be careful who you have around you. So I always knew, listen, when you win, everybody wants to be your friend. When you're losing, nobody wants. That's just how it, and it was right. So it didn't really matter to me.
I totally understand that point. After that, you came back. Your first fight back.
Yeah.
How did it feel to be back?
It was good. That was that's when I was, it was good to be back, because when you've been out for so long and then you make that comeback, it was a good day. That was better than the pro debut, that, for me, yeah.
So, and as well as that, so you're towards the end of your careers when you start to make the majority of your money,
Yeah.
and life was just going better than ever.
Yeah.
Tell us about that road to when you were facing Taco Claricon in Boston, and
it was
the next couple of fights after that. What was happening? Tell me how you like it.
After the ban, and I started fighting, I was fortunate. I had people like John Ingle, Dominic Ingle, and when I was fighting, I was getting 50 grand here, 60 grand here, 80 grand there, 100 grand here, 120 grand. Just the money was going up and whatever. So John used to just go to me as, just buy. He sent me something. Buy this house. And I think, why am I buying this house? One here for 70 grand. Then he goes, just send me one. Yeah, next fight. Yeah, buy this one. So every time I boxed, I was just buying these houses outright. Bam, 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 bam. And I was getting, like, at the time, £500-600 a month. And I was thinking, why? Because most fighters don't do that. The second they start making money, they go and buy the biggest house they can. So I never did that. I bought a house off John and Dominic for 8 grand in Winkerbank, and all the rest I just kept on buying houses all over. And over time it just accumulates. And when I boxed, by the time I'm world champion, by the time I boxed for the world title, I already had enough money anyway, because over the time, in the period of like 5 or 6 years, the house prices just shot up anyway, so it didn't really matter. And it didn't. That was the thing. I was just lucky to have people around me where, instead of going on holiday after a fight, buy this house, another fight, instead of getting a car, just buy this house here with this. And that was it. It was just listening to the people, and I was just fortunate to have people around me where they told me, and I listened. That was probably a bigger thing, because to be fair with John and Dom, used to tell everyone, especially John, he's like, listen, just get this book, read about this, look at this. And I just, because one of my things, when I finished boxing, I didn't want to be one of them fighters who has to work to live, because we put so much time in, and I've seen so many fighters who ended with nothing. And I just made sure when I finish boxing, I'm going to make sure I don't ever have to work again, and I don't. And probably make more money now than I am when I was fighting. And that I'm just fortunate. I had people around me and I listened.
So now with what we're doing in terms of Barry, so what's the question I asked to you now as well? What's next for you?
At this moment in time, I'm still training every day, but it all depends on the money. If the figures are right, then yeah, I would have a fight. But if the figures are not right, then no, because I don't have to. It has to make sense, and the fight and the money has to make sense. You know, at the end of the day, you couldn't offer me 10 million quid to get in the ring and fight someone that I knew I was going to get beat by, because I wouldn't. I would only get in a fight if I know I could beat someone. I would never get in a fight with them. But that's just me. Some people would. People are like, oh yeah, I'll get in the ring and fight AJ. Yeah, for that kind of money. Well, that's because you've got no money. When you have a bit of money or you have stability, well, why would I take that risk? For what? Why would I get in the ring and risk my life or my health for some? I can always make money. Don't matter. It's easy. Once you've got money, it's easy to make money. Doesn't really matter. But you can never get back time, and you can never get back your health, and that's what sometimes fighters have to weigh up.
So the question I ask you again: are you thinking about hanging up your boots?
Listen, like I said to you, I'm in the gym every day training. So if the right opportunity comes, then it all depends on the dough. That's what it all depends on.
As he says, show me the damn money. Show me the money. My boy. Thanks for this. It's been amazing. We got Mr. Algerian on the camera out here. The Yahoo boy over there as well. Yeah. You get it. Respect him in it. You get it. These men have done a job.
No, you've got a big shout out. Big shout out to Algeria, especially Viva Algeria.
It's still recorded, by the way. Yeah. I like these little outcuts, you know. You can put them in there these days, yo. Yeah. You get it. These men have been sticking at us all day, you know.
Bro,
they don't know you're a world champion out here, you know. You don't need to know who you're.
He's a bit upset because Nigeria just fell short.
Oh, they did, didn't it?
They just fell short in the African Cup, man. We made it. We were very close. No. You should have had that. You had that in the bag. Ivory Coast just come back from nowhere.
They did better than Algeria, though, innit? They did better than Algeria.
Algeria, man. Come on, man. Letting down the team. I'm from Yemen. Yemen. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy said it. The guy said it. The guy said it with chest, you know.
Yeah, come on, bro. Yeah.
I didn't even know you were Yemeni, you know.
What do you think it was?
I don't want to say it on camera.
Oh, bad guy.
Thank you for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. You get it. We're gonna do more of this content. You get it. Peace out from me and my boy Barry. Yeah?
Peace.